Hi guys, how are you? Okay, this one's a toughie, all right? I have a dinosaur alphabet book and some of these names, oh my goodness. It's by Jerry Pallotta, illustrated by Ralph Mycelio. A is for Ankylosaurus. This was one of the armored dinosaurs. The spikes sticking out of its back and sides were sharp. The club on the end of its tail could swing around and be used as a weapon. If you were a dinosaur, would you go near an Ankylosaurus? B is for Baryonyx. This fish-eating dinosaur had two large claws. Scientists cannot figure out whether the claws were on its front feet or its back feet. If the giant claws had been on its back feet, they would have bumped into its front legs when it walked. Its flat head was shaped like the head of a crocodile. C is for Compsognactus. Not all dinosaurs were huge. The Compsognactus was no bigger than a chicken. Its feet were like those of many birds today. The Compsognattus had 3 toes pointing forward and 1 toe pointing backwards. D is for Diplodocus. This is one of the longest dinosaurs that anyone has ever found. Most of its length comes from its very long tail and its very long neck. It was a gentle plant eater. The Diplodocus could have used its long tail like a whip to defend itself against the meat-eating dinosaurs. E is for Edmontosaurus. The Edmontosaurus was found near Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. It had over 1,000 teeth in its strong jaws. If the Edmontosaurus were alive today, it would take a dentist about a week just to clean its teeth. F is for Fabrasaurus. The Fabrasaurus was one of the dinosaurs that had hip bones like the birds that live today. Scientists divide all dinosaurs into 2 groups. One group that had hip bones like birds, and the other group that has hip bones like lizards. No one knows why the dinosaurs became extinct. There are many theories. One theory is that a giant star, a supernova, exploded near Earth and that the radiation slowly killed off all the dinosaurs. G is for Gallimimus. Scientists think that this dinosaur could run very fast on its long, skinny legs. It had long, skinny neck, and its toothless jaw looked like a beak. The Gallimimus probably walked and ran like an ostrich. H is for Heterodontosaurus. This dinosaur only grew to be about as tall as a 1st or 2nd grade student. Most dinosaurs either had sharp meat-eating teeth or plant-eating teeth. The Heterodontosaurus was very unusual. It had 3 different types of teeth: sharp front incisors, pointed canines, and flat grinding back teeth, just like you do. I is for Iguanodon. This is the 2nd dinosaur ever discovered. Someone noticed that it had teeth just like an iguana and decided to call it an iguanodon. The iguanodon's thumbs were sharp spikes that it probably used to tear up leaves and branches for food. J is for Jackstartosaurus. The Jackstartosaurus was one of the duck-billed dinosaurs. Dinosaurs existed millions of years before ducks, so maybe it would be more appropriate to call ducks dinosaur-billed birds. K is for Kronosaurus. The Kronosaurus was not a giant ocean-going reptile. It was a giant ocean-going reptile, but it was not a dinosaur. Many people think that the ocean-going reptiles were dinosaurs, but all dinosaurs had legs and walked on land. The Kronosaurus had flippers and swam in the ocean. K is for Kentrosaurus. The Kentrosaurus had both bony plates and spikes sticking out of its back. The Kentrosaurus was small. Its spikes could have kept the giant dinosaurs from stepping on it. The name Kentrosaurus means prickly lizard. Another theory of why dinosaurs became extinct is that a giant meteor hit the Earth and the dust from the collision blackened the skies. With no sunlight, plants would have died, and then the plant eaters would have had nothing to eat. When the plant eaters died off, the meat eaters would have had nothing to eat except maybe each other. L is for Lambiosaurus. The Lambiosaurus was a duck-billed dinosaur that had a funny shaped head. Several other duck-billed dinosaurs had different shapes on their head. Maybe the different shapes helped them tell each other apart. M is for Megalosaurus. This is it. This is the first dinosaur ever discovered. At first, people thought that the bones of the Megalosaurus were from an ancient giant horse, or an ancient giant rhinoceros or hippopotamus. Eventually, people realized that these bones were from a giant reptile, a dinosaur. N is for Notosaurus. This armored dinosaur tiny brain was probably no bigger than a golf ball or a walnut. The Notosaurus did not have the long spikes that other armored dinosaurs usually had. The Notosaurus had plating on its back that looked like hundreds of little buttons. Should it have been called the Buttonosaurus? O is for oviraptor. This dinosaur has a name that means egg thief. It was once thought that the 6-foot-tall oviraptor ate the eggs of other dinosaurs. This is no longer believed. Fossils show that it was protecting its own eggs. Did small mammals like rats eat the eggs of dinosaurs? This is another theory of why dinosaurs became extinct. P is for Parasaurolophus. This dinosaur had a hollow bone growing across the top of its head. People used to think that it was a snorkel that helped it breathe underwater. Now people think it may have been to make louder sounds or to smell things better. It may also have been a deflector to push aside branches and shrubs when the Parasaurolophus ran through the woods. You're going to have to look that one up. How to say that word. Q is for questrasaurus. The questrasaurus was a long-necked plant eater. Let's face it, no one knows what color the dinosaurs were. Anyone can make good guesses. Perhaps some dinosaurs could change color the way some lizards do today. Maybe the questrasaurus was red with blue stripes and yellow spots. Who really knows what color the dinosaurs were? R is for Rhamphorhynchus. Although this flying reptile lived during the time of the dinosaurs that lived on Earth, it was not a dinosaur. This petrosaur should probably not be in a dinosaur book. Let's find a dinosaur that begins with the letter R. R is for Rheosaurus. This dinosaur walked on all 4 legs and was a plant eater. The Rheosaurus would have liked to eat broccoli, asparagus, lima beans, and spinach if there were any around millions of years ago. If you were a dinosaur, would you have eaten those vegetables? What about cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower? S is for Stegosaurus. No, not the Stegosaurus. The Stegosaurus was one of the bone-headed dinosaurs. The bone on the top of its skull was 6 inches thick. It was perfect for smashing into other boneheads or for crashing into its enemies. T is for Torosaurus. This dinosaur had the largest skull of any known land animal. From the tip of its chin to the top of its collar, it measured 9 feet long. Do you like horned dinosaurs? The Montanoceratops had a single horn on its head. The Torosaurus and the Triceratops had 3 horns. The Pentaceratops had 5 horns. The Styrasaurus was spectacular. It had horns all over its head. U is for Ultrasaurus. This giant has not yet been officially named. Only a few leg bones have been found. However, it's so huge that it probably deserves the name Ultimate Dinosaur. It's the largest found so far, unless, of course, you find one even bigger. V is for Velociraptor. The Velociraptor is one of a group of dinosaurs that had huge sharp claw on the front of each rear leg. This ferocious dinosaur may have been able to jump up onto other dinosaurs and attack them with its sharp curved claws. The fast-running velociraptors probably hunted together in large groups. W is for Warhosaurus. Not much is known about this dinosaur, and no one is really sure what it looked like. We do know that it had a rectangular-shaped plates on its back. No one really knows how many years old a Warhosaurus lived to be. Scientists say that some dinosaurs may have lived to be 200 years old. That's a lot of birthdays to celebrate. X is for Chaosaurus. The dinosaur was discovered in China and therefore it has a Chinese name. The Chowasaurus did not grow any taller than a person. The Chowasaurus and other dinosaurs may or may not have walked around in the snow. Another theory as why the dinosaurs became extinct is that the Ice Age came and made the earth too cold for the dinosaurs. If this is true, then nobody knows why the alligators and crocodiles survived. Nobody knows. Y is for the Ankylosaurus. The Ankylosaurus was a large, fierce, meat-eating dinosaur. Its huge jaws, full of long, sharp-edged teeth, were good for stabbing and cutting. It was as tall as a 3-story building. Wow! Imagine this dinosaur walking down the street. Don't worry, the last dinosaurs lived about 65 million years ago. The last Ankylosaurus lived about 140 million years ago. Iguanodon? That one's one to look up too. Z is for Zephyrosaurus. Look, there's a Zephyrosaurus skull. All over the world, there are zillions of dinosaur bones waiting to be discovered. The Zephyrosaurus has already been identified, but there are more new dinosaurs and fossils to find. Maybe some of them will end up with names that begin with the letter Z. There you go, guys. I love you, and I know I've got some friends that have been waiting on a dinosaur book, so there you go. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.